All right, good morning. You are tuned into 1100 WSGI, and this is Lee Marie with The Go Show, your source for information, inspiration, and always a few dates to add to your calendar. Super excited about my fabulous guest today, but before we start, let's go ahead and go to the Lord in prayer. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for today. Thank you for waking us up. Thank you for having a purpose for each and every one of us. Thank you for your angels of protection all around us. Please take this show exactly where you want it to go, and we pray a special blessing on all of our Vietnam vets and all of their families this week as we celebrate them this week. We love you. We praise you in the mighty name of Jesus. Amen.
Amen.
All right. Susan Hunter's in the house.
Woohoo.
It's been a while.
It has been a while.
I missed you, sister. And, you know, everybody loved this book because we had at the library last month, we got to talk all about our Vietnam veterans and the Orange Heart Medal Foundation. And then they all everybody that attended bingo got a copy of Susan's book. And they were just so thrilled. Matter of fact, a couple people on their way out, they saw that we had like 2 left. And they're like, you know, my brother or and so I said, yeah, go ahead.
No, I appreciate you doing that.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. We definitely have a sense of urgency, and the message needs to get out. This doesn't become a moniker unless people know about it, and people are not aware if they don't read about it, because unfortunately, this is one aspect of our veterans that we tend not to know a lot about, and I think it's purposeful. Mm-hmm. A lot of mistakes were made, and they were our scapegoats, so our being the country.
One thing that I loved about the book, and I actually told this story at the library the other day, is the story of you standing in the post office when you had just prayed, you know, Lord, what's the next step? So can you tell them that story? Because I know you will tell it much better than I could.
You bet. No, it was the inciting moment for sure. I had just completed publishing the book about 6 months prior to the first book, 77 Letters. And this was my first book. So it was definitely a learning curve on just even how to write a book and how to publish a book and all the things. And so it was a grind. In 2 years, we're dedicated to that. And shortly after the publishing of that book, I was receiving hundreds of emails. So I'm thinking, okay, this is great. It's well received by the readers. It's been very healing. And everything was wonderful. And then I got a nudge from the Holy Spirit. You need to do more. And I kept thinking, what? I just was grinding for 2 years and nope, the Holy Spirit just kept at it, kept nudging me. You need to do more. You need to do more. And so, okay, I'm an obedient servant. So whatever it is you want me to do, I will do. Here I am. Send me, Lord. But please just hit me with a 2x4 with what you want me to do so I don't make a misstep. And so about 2 weeks after I'm having this conversation in my time with the Lord, I'm at the post office in Hendersonville mailing a copy of 77 Letters to a person of influence. And I'm standing in line, and the gentleman behind me was wearing one of those black Vietnam veteran ball caps. And so I signaled that I recognized the hat, and I said, I salute you for your service, sir. And he gave me the nod and the thank you, ma'am. And so then I started talking, lightly to him about, what branch of service and what years were you there, and all was fine and good, and until I did it, and I said, have you been back? And it was silence. You could hear a pin drop, and he just stared at me to the point where my heart was pounding out of my chest, the sweat was beating off my body, and I thought, oh, what did I just do? And he looked at me and he said, every night. And it just crushed me. I did not know how to respond. I was new into this mission, so I wasn't as aware. And so I didn't know what to say. So I just said, can I give you a hug? And he gave me the nod. So I went in for a hug. And while I was hugging him, I just remember saying, God, give it to me, give it to me. God, give it to me. Not that I know what I would have done had I gotten the nightmares that he does every night. But all I knew at that moment is I wanted to take the burden away from him. Mm-hmm. And so that was my response, and we hugged. And then when we released from the hug, I knew there was something more coming. And so I just waited, looking at him in the eyes. And he said, they used to say the enemy owned the night. In some ways, they still do. Again, I didn't know how to respond. And so at that moment, the clerk calls me up next, and I'm just like, I can't end this like this. So I rip open the envelope. I hand him the book. I said, no guarantees, but this is a true story about my mom's writing campaign during the Vietnam War. I've received hundreds of letters from veterans saying it was very healing for them. I'd like you to have it. And he graciously took it, and he said, I don't read much about Nam. And obviously I understand. And he said, but thank you. And so we hugged it out. I leave, I go into my car, slam the door, hands on the steering wheel, and I'm like, okay, Lord, that was no 2x4, that was a 4x4. Mm-hmm. So I knew at that moment what the Holy Spirit meant when he said, you need to do more. Mm-hmm. There is so much healing to be had. And these men and women, there were 11,000 women that served in Vietnam, but these men and women deserve to be at peace. Mm-hmm. And this has been, the honor was denied when they came home, when they needed it most. So yes, we're doing our best to play catch up and make amends. It will never replace what they should have received when they first came home. And I'd like to just talk a little bit about that, because this is the huge difference. War is horrible, and anybody that has served in combat knows that. Their families know it to a lesser degree, but it is horrible, and it's something we are not built to experience. You have to really heal from what you see, what you're witnessing, what you've had to do, all those things. But the one thing this generation of veterans, had to endure that no generation prior to or since have had to endure was their homecoming. It was not met with, thank you for your service. It was not met with, what can I do for you to help you? It was met with disdain. It was met with disbelief. It was met with disgust. And all those were wrongly placed on those who served. I can lay all of that at the feet of our politicians at the time and our media at the time. The irresponsible media that chose to show one angle versus another and run with one story versus another. And but anyway, just to give you an idea, and I touched upon this with Laverne earlier, and this is really important, to speak volumes as to the level of disdain that was placed on our men and women at that time. The government itself, the government that sent them to Vietnam, that got us into the war, also said, we're not building a memorial for you. We built one for World War II, we built one for Korea, but we're not building one for you. That's how much disgust we have. So what did our Vietnam veterans do? They didn't pout and they didn't say, poor us. They said, okay, fine. We're going to have a memorial because we need a place to heal. We need a place to meet our brothers and sisters. And so they raised the money, the Vietnam War Memorial Fund, they raised the money to build their own memorial. And that is the remarkable wall. It's called The Wall down in D.C. And there's so much to be learned about that whole process and just the stories that lay at the foot of that memorial, because oftentimes you will see a lot of memorabilia and notes and POW bracelets left at the foot of the wall, and every night the groundskeepers will collect everything and they put them in safekeeping. But that is one story, or one event, I should say, in history that took place that shows you the level of disdain that was nurtured in this country at that time. The other one was the fact that when they came home from a war in a foreign land, they were banned from joining the Veterans of Foreign War, the VFW. That is everything's wonderful now, it's great, but when they needed it most, when our men and women needed it most, they were denied membership with the VFW. And think of it, these anybody who serves in combat, they experience things that us civilians don't understand and never could understand. They speak a different language. They have an unspoken understanding of each other. They need a place to go and process what just happened, what did we do, and how do we move forward. And they were even denied that. I mean, it was I want to say at least a decade before they were allowed to join the VFW. So this, I point this out not to throw shade on the VFW, because again, everything's fine now. I point these things, or to throw shade on our government, which, we're not perfect, but we are still the greatest country on the globe. I say this to just implore everyone to go out and love on our Vietnam veterans and their families who endured a lot, because they suffered when their father or husband suffered. Or their wives, for the nurses, that there are 11,000 nurses served over in Vietnam. And so the families of our Vietnam veterans need our loving too. They went through things that we should never have put any countryman through. And so I beg to say that this is the greatest stain on our country's history, was how we treated those returning from the war in Vietnam. And there will be nothing that we can do to fully make amends for what we put them through, but we sure as heck can try. Till our last breath, we sure as heck can try. And one of the ways to do that is to attend the events that are honoring our Vietnam veterans. And this happens to be, March 29th happens to be the National Vietnam War Veterans Day. So this is a great weekend to, be proactive about loving on our Vietnam veterans. And there's an amazing event here in Robertson County at the Orange Heart Memorial. Sponsored, and the annual host of this is the Orange Heart Memorial Foundation, led by the tireless and fearless leader, Ken Gamble, also a Vietnam veteran. And this event is right here off the highway at the Springfield Memorial Gardens. And it's a 2-part series. Friday night is a candlelight vigil where they read every single name on that memorial. Because as they say, you die twice, once when you physically die, and the second time and the last time is when your name is no longer spoken. And so that is Ken's commitment to everybody who gets their name on this memorial. Your name will be read aloud at least once a year.
And I do want to add that I am still looking for a few more high school students. We had high school students read the names last year for the first time, and it was just wonderful. And so I do need a few more. So if you know any high school, even down to 8th grade, that would like to be a part of this important historical time. The call time to arrive at Springfield Memorial Gardens is 5 p.m. And then, of course, the candlelight vigil itself will start right at 6 p.m. And then also, yes, that Friday, there is a welcome dinner that anybody can go to, actually. That is at the Holiday Inn right there on Memorial Boulevard, just up from the cemetery. And that dinner will start at 4 and it'll run till about 5:30. So, we have a lot of buses coming in, Vietnam vets from other states, and they stay there at the Holiday Inn. And so we love to go there and just, again, thank them, welcome them home, thank them for your freedom, just love on them. And so anybody can go to that. So that's March 27th, which is a Friday. And I know March 29th is the actual Vietnam Veterans Day, but now in Robertson County, we always will celebrate it the last weekend of the month, no matter what it is. So this time it's the March 27th, March 28th. So if you have not been by to the Springfield Memorial Gardens to see the memorial, you really need to.
Yeah, it's a beautiful beautiful memorial. Ken has done an amazing job. It's very tastefully done. You can learn a lot. He has the map there. But you can, more than reflect and heal and honor, you can be educated. So he's done a fantastic job.
And they keep adding, pedestals and different things for different of the groups from Vietnam. So even if you've been there, but it was several years ago, I bet you there's going to be something new.
Yeah, even last year they have dedicated one whole pedestal to our prisoners of war. And so that is unique to that memorial. And then also another pedestal is dedicated strictly to our nurses that served over there. And that is a nice addition. So he's always adding. It's a wonderful foundation to support, because not only do they do this annual event and have this wonderful memorial, but they also distribute the Orange Heart Medal, which is so healing. We've experienced this ourselves, presenting the Orange Heart Medal to those who are eligible, meaning they're inflicted by the chemicals that they were liberally showered with during their time in Vietnam. And as a result, they're suffering from cancer and illnesses, and sometimes multiple cancers. It's just horrific. But anyway, so that's another thing that this foundation does. And
One thing before we get off of the wall topic, to be on the wall, it's $150. And you do not have to be from Tennessee. That was one of the questions that a lot of people had said. They said, oh, these all, no. Matter of fact, my brother-in-law, Ron Pope, who is in Oregon, my siblings and I, we pitched in for his 70th birthday and put him on the wall. So, you can do things like that. Find out who those veterans are, Vietnam veterans in your neighborhoods or in your churches, and let's get them on the wall because they are passing away at such a high rate.
an alarming rate. These chemicals are wreaking havoc, and as far as the rate, it's higher than any other generation of veterans. And so we do have a sense of urgency, hence why I gave you all those books, because we need to get this out there. And you're right. I mean, I believe every state is actually represented on this memorial, and that's a wonderful thing. I have this one veteran out in California, Bob Rome. He wakes up every morning and says, "What can I do for my brothers and sisters?" And one of the things that he has done is he has sponsored the names of like 3 other veterans that he served with that he wants to honor. None of them live here in Tennessee. He doesn't even live here in Tennessee, but he loves the idea that these names are read every single year. Wow. And so he has sponsored 3 of his comrades to be on this wall.
That's awesome. And if you want to see how to do that, the applications for both the medal itself, which is free, and then also to get on the wall, which is $150, both of those applications, you can go to orangeheartmedal.org. Again, that's orangeheartmedal.org. And those, right on the front page, are the applications for both of those. Also, at the very top, you will see in black and yellow, it says upcoming events. Click here for details. And so any of these events that we're talking about for this weekend in Robertson County, you'll see right away comes up. So I just clicked on. So the first one, of course, is this flyer, which has both Friday and Saturday's listing on it. And then right next to it is the fun run, the family day that is happening in the morning on that Saturday. And so it's a 1K, a 5K, and then a Jeep run. Now you can't put your Jeep in it, huh? Because you're out speaking somewhere else.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
All right. She's got a Jeep. Well, we do have the orange ducks are ready. So those of you that have a Jeep, I hear I didn't know what a poker run was until recently, but
I didn't either.
Okay, so it's 5 locations in the county, and the Jeeps go there, and you get a playing card, and so there's 5 locations. So when you get back to the last location, whoever has the best 5-card poker hand is the winner of that. All right, so I see the rest of our folks have come in, and we've left a chair right there, so you can slide that one in.
Fearless
as well.
leader is in the house.
So how about if you help them get all situated in here and sit all 3 chairs, and then I'm going to go ahead and do a sponsor while you guys do that. Welcome, all my good Orange Heart Metal friends. All right, so I do need to speak to you about a couple of our sponsors here. Let me get that out. Linda, I miss you today. Normally we have Linda here that's helping me out, but I got to do everything on my own today. So let me tell you, it is mowing time in case you haven't noticed. And if your mower hasn't been serviced lately, you definitely need to get that in, especially if maybe you need your blade sharpened or an oil change. Ridgetop Mower of Springfield, they are the experts, and they are very conveniently located right behind Baldwin Barbecue and Ace Hardware. So they're at 1101 Matthews Street, and their phone number is 615-855-0044. Again, that's 615-855-0044. If you tell them Lee Marie sent you, you will get 10% off both parts and labor. So get on out to Ridgetop Mower of Springfield. And I heard that they still have some of the cool WSGI radio car decals. So get on over there while supplies last. All right. Then also we have our UPS store, which is on Memorial Boulevard. They have been so helpful to all of our nonprofits and all of our businesses lately. You can just email in the work that you need printed and pick it up. They are real pros, and their customer service is second to none. They're located at 513 Memorial Boulevard in Springfield. And if you know where HD Hill is, you can find the UPS store. Their phone number is 615-384-0093. Again, that's 615-384-0093. I heard they still may have a special on shredding, and I know a lot of people right now are still in the, cleaning out mode, the spring cleaning. So you can take boxes of stuff over there that you need shredded. They'll weigh it, and then you pay it. And so they can handle all of that. But they also have notaries and a lot of other types of services over there. So get on out to UPS store. Make sure you tell them Lee Marie sent you. All right. So my family's all here.
My angels.
That's right.
That's right. Ken's, Charlie had his angels, Charlie's angels. Well, these are Ken's angels. So
That's right. All day.
So we have Robin Spence here who lives in
North Carolina.
North Carolina. We can push that microphone right closer to you. She's in North Carolina, but she's already here for the whole week because of our special events.
This is true.
This is true. And she does so much work from North Carolina. I can't even imagine. But you do an awesome job over there. And you look beautiful, by the way.
Thank you. We all work very hard, Lee Marie.
Yes,
all of us.
I do know that. These three people here are probably the three hardest working people I know.
Well, now she works hard for North Carolina, but she works harder for Tennessee.
That's right. That's right.
She is the secretary for the foundation, so she's a multi-person for states and everything. She just this one here used to be that way,
She still is.
but
Now that she's in demand to go as a speaker and as an author and now as a screenplay writer, soon to be, right?
Screenwriter.
Screenwriter, yes. So so exciting stuff that she's doing for us. But and then Ken, of course, is, and Susan already was talking about him today. I don't know if you guys were listening on your way in. Our fearless leader, right?
Fearless and tireless leader.
Tireless leader. Ken Gamble is the one who started this entire foundation, and oh my gosh, how many lives you have touched.
well, so far, I think we've got about 17,000 medals out.
17,000 medals.
And last night, I had worked all day and tried to get things in order and get the trailer loaded so I wouldn't have to do it on Friday. And come in, and I was so tired I didn't go to the computer. So this morning I went to the computer and I had 40-something applications for medals.
Wow.
Isn't that something?
So
Gee, many crickets.
when we get through here, I'm going to be at the desk.
Oh, yes. And I've seen him at his desk with his pile, the United States Post Office box just filled up.
Right.
And he works night and day on that. And oh my gosh, how much of a sacrifice, I mean, so much time and money and everything that you've put into it.
But I will tell you, yesterday, in all the confusion and everything, I had to cut a tree down, or a big limb down, and my VFW buddies came up and helped me out.
They did.
So I got to give a shout out to Post 2120. They support, and they know I'm getting old, so they kind of helped me out along the way.
Well, that's awesome. Very good, very good. Now, see, look at there. There's a great shot of the three superstars.
Oh my gosh! Now this is the superstar. That's right. You should be over here with us.
Those of you that are listening on the radio, you have no idea what I'm talking about, but I was just changing camera. We not only are on the radio, 1100, but we also are on YouTube and Facebook, and it's the video, so you can actually see everything. And please, guys, share this show. We don't just automatically come up in feeds, so you do need to share the show. It's great to share the YouTube link, actually, because that one doesn't expire. Facebook expires their 30-day live feeds after 30 days. So, but either way, get the word out, because we want to get as many people as possible out to these events this weekend. And I know there's a lot of other things going on, and I know that the Go Show also talks about calendar items. And I was going through stuff last night, and I was seeing other stuff on Saturdays. I'm like, I'm not going to tell them about that. So check your calendar, y'all. And already for next year, just put on there for the last weekend of March. That is Vietnam Veterans Week. Don't be scheduling anything else. All right?
What could be more important
Exactly.
than veterans?
Exactly. We have everything we have because of veterans.
You're right.
It's not. I don't belittle anyone for taking the Vietnam Veterans Day and doing whatever they do. I mean, that's great. That's America. But hey, man, we're special. Let's face it.
That's right.
Amen.
All right. So we were just, before you guys arrived, we were talking about the actual, the ceremonies. We already talked, I think, pretty much about Friday, how 4:00 is the welcome dinner. Actually, let me back up a little bit. If anybody wants to help set up chairs, you can come on out 9:30 a.m. on Friday, because Rose and Clint, who have a company that rents chairs, have been so kind and generous again to donate chairs for our ceremony. So big shout out to Rose Wooten and Clint Wooten with This and That for providing the chairs. But we do need some help putting up all of those chairs. And so if you want to start the day helping with that, you just come out at 9:30 over at Springfield Memorial Gardens, right there at the memorial. And so then Friday, 4:00 is the welcome dinner. 6:00 is the candlelight vigil.
Correct.
All right. So then that's where we left off. And then Saturday morning, this is the first time, I think, that y'all have done this thing, right?
Correct.
It's, when do you want to talk about that?
Well, we can.
Okay.
Beginning, I think, at 8 o'clock, we have registration for the community fun run. The Springfield Memorial Gardens is sponsoring a fun run, a 5K and a 1 mile fun run. Registration begins at 8. Of course, they'll have live bands and lots of fun vendors, food vendors. There'll be wares for sale as well out there. And then
Can I ask one question real quick? Are people still able to bring a booth if they are a vendor?
Absolutely. They can bring a tent, a food vendor. If they've got a little trailer, they can bring it.
Okay.
One thing I do this year, we're not going to be able to park cars behind the tents.
Okay.
They're going to have to go back up on the hill there. There's plenty of space up there. They can park up there, but not around the tents.
Okay.
Because we're going to have the food vendors there. We're going to have the tents there. I have personally invited 3 food vendors.
Okay.
Against objections from the DFW because of the hot dog cart.
Well, we'll always eat the hot dogs anyway. I mean, it's just tradition.
That's right.
You know, Stephen and I, no matter where we go, Bluegrass Festival or whatever, like, if the veterans have their hot dogs on it, we're each getting 2 hot dogs. So, no, it doesn't matter what other food's there because we're still getting 2 hot dogs.
That's right.
They're the best hot dogs around.
Well, that money that's donated for the hot dogs, it goes to a excellent cause.
That's
I mean, it's all about veterans.
Yes, if you haven't had those hot dogs yet, make sure you do that. All right, and then if people have, if they want to sell stuff or they have like a nonprofit booth, like Critter Fixers or whoever, they can just put their booth up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
great.
It's we're not like a lot of these places that charge you to put a tent up. It's that's the whole thing about our foundation. We're all volunteers. We're all volunteers. And we don't charge for a lot of stuff that other foundations charge for. We're just strictly for the veterans, and if we can help them in any way, shape, or form, that's what we're going to do.
Okay, and if they are a vendor, what time should they arrive to be set up by? Because I know that registration for the run starts at 8. So I know
it depends on how much money they want to make.
Well, I think that they would probably want to get everything up so that it was kind of set by 7:30.
I would say that Saturday morning they need to be there setting up by 8 o'clock while they're registering, and that way, when they start the run, there's going to be some of the runners are going to bring their children. Their children may want a snow cone or something of that nature, so the vendors will be there set up. I've told everybody to be set up by 9 o'clock.
Okay. All right. Yeah. And I mean, since the registration starts at 8, you may want to, like you said, if you want to get more people at your booth, I would probably want to be set up by 7:30 just so that you get those people that arrived early to register. They're going to be looking for stuff to look at, right?
That's right.
Okay. All right. So this is the first time that an actual fundraiser is happening before our main ceremony.
Correct.
And so there is a 5K run, a 1 mile run. I'm signed up for the 1 mile because I figured I'd have a lot of other things I have to do too.
Oh, yeah, we're going to keep you busy, Marie. You're going to be running. It's going to end up being the 5K.
Oh yeah, it'll probably be a 25K by the time the day's over, right? So that is, and then the Jeep run. Do they still go to the cemetery to enroll?
Yeah, well, they're going to actually enroll and register at the funeral home.
Okay.
That's where that setup is
So
going to
over
be.
by the main entrance, like
Over by the main entrance,
okay,
yes.
okay. So
Yes.
don't go by the memorial to sign up for the Jeep run. That's going to be over where you see their building.
Correct.
You know, where you go in for the services and stuff. Which, by the way, that is so beautiful. I had them in last month
Really?
just to start talking about this early, and he was talking about the different rooms that they have for rent. And yeah, I mean, you can have a birthday party. I mean, I know you wouldn't think about having a birthday party at a funeral home, but those rooms are beautiful and they have fireplaces and they're just really nice over there. So that's the area you want to go to get your Jeep ready to go. And then there's 5 locations within the county. I don't know where all of those are. I know one's in White House.
I haven't been told where the stops are.
Okay.
I know that the launch and the destination is back. You know, they're going to leave the funeral home and end up at the funeral home. So there'll be 3 stops that they'll make along
3
the
other
way.
ones. Oh, okay. So 3
ones.
other ones. Okay. And so you'll get that map when you check in at the funeral home that morning. Again, that is at 8 a.m. And there is a QR code on the flyer. So if you do go to orangeheartmetal.org and you click on upcoming events, then the 3 flyers will come up. Of course, the one about our ceremonies, the one about the fun run, and then also the one about the Jeep run. And on that Jeep run is a little QR code. So you can register that way. Okay. So then Saturday ceremony.
You got this one?
Yep, it's that one.
Yep.
So who would like to talk about Saturday ceremony? Anybody?
Mr. Ken?
Mr. Ken, you want to talk about our speakers?
Well, we're going to have Tommy Baker, and Tommy is a distinguished gentleman right here. He is a major general, and when Tommy retired from the National Guard, he is now the commissioner for the state of Tennessee for the Veterans Administration.
Okay.
Okay, then you got Matt Van Helps. He is the new congressman that took Mark Green's seat, and Mark just put through a law for the Gold Star family that increased their amount of money from $100,000 to $200,000.
Nice.
So Mark is doing for the veterans already.
Wow.
And Mark is a veteran.
Well,
Matt.
Matt is. I got Mark on my mind.
No, I understand.
He helped me yesterday. Matt is a wartime veteran. He flew choppers into Afghanistan and Iran and what have you. So he knows. Now, not only is Matt a wartime veteran, but his father was a Vietnam veteran.
Yes.
And his father's name is on our memorial. So Matt, I think he's going to make a great congressman. Then we have a distinguished keynote speaker, Denise Snorkness. And her story is going to blow your socks off. She has fought the VA for 27 years to get her DIC. That is the dependent income. Pardon me. Her story, she's written a book. It's called Denied Till You Die. And the title she picked up from a VA personnel, because that's what they told her. Said they're going to deny you until you die. But anyway, her book title is great. Her book is fantastic, and she will be a great speaker. I guarantee.
So that's Denise Alden Sork.
Norkness, yeah.
So it's Sorkness, in case you want to look that up beforehand.
And she's a good gal, very good gal, and she's donating some books to give out. She told me, she said you get donations for them or you just give them out. It doesn't matter. Mm-hmm. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to have her books on the table. We're going to have her books on the table.
That's right.
Will both your books be here at
Hold your
the
books
ceremony,
up,
both of them, or just the new one?
I donated just the Bravest Generation.
Okay.
Well, that her other book, the 77 Letters, man, that's a read.
That's right.
That is a read. Then, of course, we have Mr. Buzzy Pooh. And all you people locally know who Buzzy Pooh is. He's the mayor. He's the city mayor. And Buzzy owes me a cup of coffee, so he better be there.
He'll be there. Matter of fact, he called and he said he's going to be there Friday night as well.
Yes, he is.
So I know he had several friends who served in Vietnam. And so I remember his speech last year was very touching.
It was.
Now, as far as the memorial goes, we're working on the last tablet. Once
15? Is that number 15?
16.
16.
we get 16, the 16th tablet. Each tablet has 60 names on it. I've got 12 names thus far for this last tablet. Now, when I say the last tablet, I'm talking about on the main memorial. Oh. What we're going to do is we're not going to leave anybody out. We're going to come around the memorial with pedestals. And each pedestal is going to have a tablet on it with 60 names. Okay. So we can put as many tablets around that memorial as Vietnam veterans or Southeast Asian veterans would like. If they want to put their name on there, we will accommodate them.
Okay. But if they want to be on that main one, which is kind of a cool thing,
Yeah.
they need to get their name in ASAP.
48 spots left.
That's right.
48
right.
spots left. Time is ticking.
It is.
All right. And speaking of time being ticking, I do need to talk about a couple more of our people that make this show possible. And that would be Southside Drug Company. You all know that they've been here for about 100 years. So you know where they are, where the big, beautiful awning. They just got this beautiful awning. But Southside, they've been serving wonderful customer service for over 100 years. They not only are a full-service pharmacy, but they now have a lot of gifts and things from local makers and bakers. So, if you need that last-minute gift, you don't want to go like all the way to a department store or something like that, well, just cruise right on up, park right outside Southside, because they have a lot of amazing gifts. They are at 1000 South Main Street in Springfield. Their website is southsidedrugco.com. They're open Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. and Saturdays, 8 a.m. to noon. And I heard they still do deliveries if you are local right there in Springfield. So a great thing we have in Southside Drug Company. Also, Coldstream Christian Camp, guys, right now you can go to their website and check out all the dates because all the kids' camp dates are now up on their website. Their website is coldstreamchristiancamp.org. Again, that's coldstreamchristiancamp.org. And they are located at 4730 Goodman Road in Adams. It feels like you're like somewhere far away because, you're just like right in the middle of beautiful trees and everything. Their camp, you can also rent it for private parties and families can rent. They have little cottages. They have bigger houses. They have, you can rent the whole campground. They just have a lot of options over there. So you can give them a call at 615-696-2208, or you can email them at info@coldstreamchristiancamp.org. Make sure you tell them that Lee Marie sent you. All right. Thank you to all of our sponsors that make our show possible. We are here with Robin Spence, who is the secretary and board member for Orange Heart Medal Foundation, and of course the founder and president, Ken Gamble, and then also Susan Hunter, the famous author and former board member, but I think you're always a board member, especially you went to Ken's Angels, so.
It's like the mafia, right?
Yeah,
That's right.
You never leave.
That's right. We will not ever let you go. And I also am honored to be a board member. And what a blessing. All of the people that I've met on the board, they're just so amazing. And I think it was really funny last year. Was it last year that, or was it the year before that John Wynn spoke?
2 years ago.
2 years ago. That was really bizarre because I did not know who the speaker was. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at him thinking, I think I might have met him somewhere. But I didn't realize until afterwards that we had graduated from the same high school.
And he's from California.
In California.
Flew in from California. Right.
So yeah, that was crazy. That I mean, what a coincidence, right? So, anyways, but yes, every speaker that you guys have had has just been. Let me turn your microphone. There we go. Every speaker that you have had has just been amazing. So I know. I don't know who's on the speaker committee, but you all do a fantastic job picking speakers. And so anyways, okay, we're back. So we have about 10 minutes left. This is The Go Show, and we happen every single Wednesday from 8 to 9. And like I said, I do tell you about some other events, so I do need to take a little break to do that. While I do that, the three of you can think of anything else that you want to talk about that we have missed. Someone's calling me. They don't know that I have a show right now. Actually, before I talk about the other things, let's finish on this. So 12 o'clock on Saturday is when this ceremony starts.
Absolutely.
Okay, and so are any school kids coming to sing or anything like that?
Anyone?
School kids coming to sing this year?
No.
Okay.
No,
okay. I didn't know.
they were obligated already.
Okay.
I tried.
Okay, but we have some other music.
We've got Steve Williams
Okay.
with Operation Song.
Okay.
Now Steve was he was concerned. He emailed me and said, "Ken, it's going to be cold."
Oh.
He said, "Can't we take this inside?" I said, "You got to be kidding me." I said, "I got long sleeve T-shirts to sell."
There you go. There you
Is
go.
Jen Case singing the national anthem?
Yes.
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 Jen
Jen
Case.
Case, she was the winner of Hendersonville's You Got Talent
Oh, really?
in 2024.
Oh.
She's coming to sing the national anthem.
Awesome. Well,
She
I-
was a former Disney princess.
Oh, wow. Well, I know this ceremony is always top notch, so y'all not going to want to miss this. So this is 12 o'clock noon right there at the memorial. And so the booths going to be up throughout, like even up after this?
Yes.
The food trucks and stuff.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So then even after the ceremony. Okay. That's great. All right. So we went over everything on the ceremony. So I'm now going to go over a few calendar items that are not related to what we're doing. And then when we come back from that, then I'll let each of you, if, whoever has other things that they want to add. Okay. All right. So as you know, I do have a Facebook page. It is Lee Marie. And the white circle just says rule number 1, put God at the center of everything. That is how you can find me on Facebook. And then if you scroll on my Facebook page, you will see, of course, the very first thing is all the information about our ceremonies this weekend. But you can scroll on down. Of course, I do teach line dancing tomorrow, 11 a.m., Thursday. If you need to get some, fitness in or some happiness in your life, there you go. Come on out at Well in the Square at 600 South Main Street. Matter of fact, I have to tell you something else about 600 South Main Street. And this, I just opened the Connection. This is a Robertson County Connection paper. And I opened it up last night, and I just saw on page 2, Crossroads Christian Bookstore, an article here with 6 beautiful color photos. We had Local Authors Day on last Saturday. Was that last Saturday? I think so, the 14th. And we had 5 authors come, and it was a super fun day. So get a copy of the Robertson County Connection and read this wonderful article that I wrote because I was just so happy that so many people came and, got to talk to all of them. And next time we're going to have Susan Hunter come because she's the, yes, I knew you were busy that day, but anyway.
Delaware.
Yeah, Delaware. But anyways, it has a great article about the authors and all of their books that they have. They have a lot. There's a lot of local authors in this area, so please read the article. I was real happy that they ran it because you never know, if they're going to run it. Anyways, there are a lot of other things coming up, and I'm going to skip over some of those Saturday things. Computer and technology classes. The library right here at 405 White Street in Springfield is now doing classes 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. When I think it's Monday through Thursday. They used to have particular ones that they would do, and now they're just letting each person that comes just kind of say like, hey, what they need help with. So make sure you check out Stokes Brown Public Library and take advantage of their free computer classes. All right, Critter Fixers. Critter Fixers needs your help. Of course, you guys know that is our local low-cost spay and neuter organization, and they do an amazing job. And, I want to tell you, like, if you have a cat that is like not your cat and it is bugging your cats, like that's what has happened to me. One time I had this orange cat was just coming and terrorizing my girls. And he was just a stray. And I actually took him to Critter Fixers. He got fixed and he got adopted, which was great. But they don't always adopt, but you can get them fixed. And if it's a feral cat, there's a discount because they know that, it's not your cat. And so I just highly encourage you to get a hold of Critter Fixers because we need this. There's so many cats that just don't get taken care of because they're just, they can multiply very fast. So anyway, get a hold of Critter Fixers. They need your help because they opened up their doors, but not as many people are going in as they thought. And so we want to keep their doors open. So tell your friends and your family about Critter Fixers. It's right there in the same building as Hats on Memorial Boulevard. All right. Yes. Last Sunday, the Music City Christian Fellowship had a wonderful concert over in Jolton. So glad I got to go to that. Make sure you put June 7th on your calendar because June 7th is when the Music City Christian Fellowship will be singing on stage at the Grand Ole Opry. And that is always an amazing event. It is at 3:30-ish that the pre-show starts and the regular show starts at 4. So put June 7th on your calendar because it is always a wonderful show at the Grand Ole Opry. All right. Also save the date for the National Day of Prayer. That is going to be Thursday. It's always the first Thursday of May. So Thursday, May 7th. And so stay tuned for more details on that. All right. I'm going to go back to my special guests now and talk about anything else that they would like to talk about that we missed. Susan, do you want to start with you?
Sure. One last thing that I'd like to say is, speaking about this book as we did earlier, this is a must. It must be in every military family's family library, but especially every Vietnam veteran's family library. And to that point, anybody that attends the event on Saturday, the Orange Heart Medal Foundation event on Saturday, will receive a copy of the first run of this book. There are a couple typos in there, but I just want to, that's how important this is. This weekend, I will have given out 700 copies of the book because it's that important. The message is that important. Us understanding what these men and women went through is that important. So please attend, pick up a book, stop by. I think it's going to be at your tent. Correct? Mm-hmm. Yeah, so pick up a book and you'll learn a lot at the event, but then go home and read this and you will learn enough it's life altering.
It is.
It is. So that's my gift to all of you. And I just wish you all the best. I'm sorry I'm going to be missing the event this year, but I'll be there in spirit for sure. And I wish you all the best.
Awesome. Thank you so much. That is wonderful that everybody will get a copy of that. All right, Robin and Ken, who wants to add anything else in our last 4 minutes?
Well, I will say this. Miss Susan gave me 600 books. I went to the VA, the hospital, and I handed out almost all of them.
Oh, wow.
And I know that the Vietnam veterans' families have got this book here in this area. I've only got about 50 or 60 more books left. So it's going to be first come, first serve.
All right.
And what Susan said is just the beginning of what's in this book. I have never thought about World War II because I'm a Vietnam vet and everything runs through my body as Vietnamese. But reading her book and the comparison between World War II and the Vietnam War, it just blew my mind. I just couldn't believe it. The guys from World War II, they came back on ships, and it took them about 30 days to get home. Well, they had time to decompress. We come out of the jungle, handed our gun in, got on a plane, came home. 24 hours later, we was walking the streets. And everybody knows what kind of welcome home we got. So it is. It's a great book, and Susan has written it beautifully, and it is just fantastic.
Okay. All right.
I want to inject one thing there because this is a misconception. Not everybody knows how they were treated So anyone under, say, 35 has no idea, or I'm going to say 40. Anyone under 40, most of those people have no idea how awful we were to these men and women coming home. So we can't take that for granted. And I know you didn't mean that, in any way, but that's how much we need to get this out there so that, one, we never do it again, but two, that we do the best job we can in making amends to these men and women who are so deserving.
Very good. Okay, Robin, I know that you have good information about how people can donate to the foundation. Can you go over that?
Yes, ma'am, I do. First of all, I want to touch on the fun run this week.
Nice.
This weekend's Jeep run. If you register to enter, and it's not just for the Jeeps. If you have a motorcycle, a car, a truck, if you want to be a part of it, please come out and register. You will receive a T-shirt with your registration, and also if you have a Jeep, you will receive the Orange Heart Foundation duck. And we have a lot of work, a lot of moving parts that's gone into this. That's on Saturday, but on Friday during the meet and greet, I want to give a shout out to Mission Barbecue. They are doing our catering this year. Again, Mary Lee and her staff just come together and do a wonderful job. They actually stayed last year, and I understand are going to be there this year to help serve during this. So everyone has the opportunity to fellowship, rebuild their community of, people that they didn't necessarily know when they came home, but everybody has the same mindset, and it's very healing to experience, very humbling to experience the healing that goes on.
And what about the other
these men and
sponsors on the
women.
back of the shirt? Can you read the rest of the sponsors?
Yes, ma'am. Our
Okay.
platinum level sponsor are Springfield Memorial Gardens, Patrick Mann, Auction and Realty, the VFW, Patriot Homes Team. Our gold sponsors are the Lions Club, OM Stone, Payne Chevrolet, SMC, the Dog Soldiers, Robertson County Veteran Services, B&J Auto and Collision, Tommy Huff, and then we have Renew Massage Therapy. They're new. I've never heard of them.
I've been there. They're very good.
Yeah. Our silver sponsors are Deja Mu, Maison de Rêve, The Cleaners, Fork in the Road Food Truck, Taste of Aloha Food Truck, and Tiki's Shaved Ice and Ice Cream Food Truck
Right,
are all
awesome.
sponsors.
Thank you to all the
of this.
sponsors.
Absolutely.
So, you can plan on being a sponsor next year and get your name on the shirt.
And I just want to let you know, Lee Marie, we want to present this. This is your shirt we'd
Oh,
like to give
thank
you.
you.
And thank you for everything that you do for the foundation and for the celebration, for the media presence and everything. And as far as donations, you can go on our website, www.orangeheartmetal.org, and click on the left-hand side, the tab that says Simply Donate. We also have a GoFundMe page, just particularly for Vietnam Veterans Weekend. If you would go on GoFundMe, it's Orange Heart Metal Foundation. And also check us out on our Facebook page. We are putting new material up all the time on our website as well as our Facebook page. And that again is Orange Heart Metal Foundation. And just follow us on there and show the Vietnam veterans that we are supporting them still.
One other thing I'd like to mention on the meet and greet, we're going to have a little bit of entertainment there. We're going to have Dolly and Elvis.
Oh, wow. I knew Elvis was still alive.
He was. That's right. He is.
Of course, I don't think this is the real one coming, but you never know. You never know. It's worth coming. All right, guys. Thank you so much to our guests, Robin, Ken, and Susan. Thank you guys for coming out.
Thank you.
And again, you all that are watching on Facebook or on YouTube, please share this link. And we look forward to seeing all of you. We want to see a record turnout this year at both the candlelight service at 6 p.m. on Friday and also at 12 o'clock at the ceremony. I don't want to see any empty chairs. Okay, we're going to have plenty of chairs out there. Please bring your families. It's and if you have a homeschool group, this is a great way to, to educate them.
History class.
Yeah, exactly. Matter of fact, last year during the briefing with our high schoolers, we did talk about and give them a little lesson. And even I had some of the parents say, wow, I had no idea. I didn't realize the war was that long. I didn't realize, there's a lot of things that you will learn coming to this. So please come on out to Springfield Memorial Gardens. Very easy to find just past South Haven Church where there has the electronic board outside. Very easy to find. I know y'all know where it is. So we will see you all this weekend. All right, this has been Lee Marie on WSGI, and I am going to have to sign off now, but I will be back next Wednesday. I will see all of you guys in line dance tomorrow, and I will also see all of you Friday and Saturday out at our Vietnam Veterans Celebration. Thank you all. Make it a great day. God bless. This has been 1100 WSGI.